Welcome back to the channel, Hobby1 Kenobi here. I am continuing work on the B-25J Mitchell from HK Models. I have constructed seatbelts made of Tamiya tape and buckles found from an old photo etch set that I had lying around. I looped the tape through the buckles and then trimmed the belt so that they would be just the right size. They all receive a tan color. Next, I attached the seatbelts to the seat and wrapped them around in such a way so that they look like they were laid down naturally. Nothing looks sillier to me than uniform seatbelts. A little bit of super glue is used to keep the seatbelts in their position. Next, I decided it was time to remove the masks from the interior of the canopy. The interior was painted with the same yellow-green zinc chromate that was used on much of the interior of the aircraft. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing on the seats and other areas in the cockpit interior. Dry brushing is useful for bringing out details. As you might recall from my last video, I showed you the application of the wash, and then after it dried, I removed the excess. After that stage, the model was sealed with a flat coat. Now dry brushing can commence. Dry brushing really works best when it is over a flat coat. If the surface is too smooth, like after a gloss coat, the paint will simply not stick and stay on. It is important when dry brushing that you first pick a shade that is lighter than the base color. You want to load up the brush and then remove about 90% of the paint. Then the area is scuffed with the leftover paint, hopefully catching onto the higher parts of the model. Next, I painted the radial engines and applied the wash. Now that the wash is dried, I am removing most of the material with a soft brush and Q-tips. I have found that I really need to be careful when working with Vallejo paints. If Vallejo paint has been used, it can easily be lifted off from the surface if I rub too hard with a Q-tip. Tamiya paints don't have this problem. Next, I'm removing the wash from the engine cowling as well as the radial engine itself. After the wash, the engines receive a flat coat. Other engine details are painted and I begin to add wiring. Wiring the engine requires that I drill holes. I have attempted to glue wires directly to the surfaces in previous builds, but the hold is just never as strong. It can be frustrating to have wires pop off in later stages of the build. Sometimes I use a pen vise to make the holes, but ultimately I find that a sharp X-Acto blade works just as well. One end of the wire is attached to the surface of the ring surrounding the engine. I apply a small drop of super glue accelerating liquid, known as zip kicker, to the surface. Then I dip the wire into a glob of super glue. Once these two liquids come together, they dry in seconds. The other end of the wire is then shaped, trimmed, and placed in the hole. Glue was added after the wires were already in place. Finally, each wire is painted with a tan orangish color that matched my references. It's amazing how these details, albeit a little bit time consuming, can really add life to the molded engines. Well, that does it for this video, and as always I ask you to please like the video and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.